people no good at all.
Yeah. Punkos, I didn't hear the completion of what you had said after you responded to me because I don't know why. You chipped out for a while. You know? You said after I mentioned about the problem is I asked if you didn't hear it said before. You know, but in a nutshell, you're correct about the latter part. We have to keep sensibilities. You know, we have to keep sensibilities to the conversation because one of the problem is that there's so many falsehood, you know, and people pretending as if they have more sense than they really have. And then because some of them are so convincing, then persons tend to gravitate towards it. I want to also make a small request. It's not my place to do so, I believe, but you know, that the gentleman who's parading as a neutral, that we do not support him, because the more of us who goes there, the algorithm drives persons to him. You know, I saw, and Punkos, I want to commend you for the decorum by which you conducted yourself the other day when you were there. You know, here's a man who is pretending to be a neutral and simultaneously would not make room for an easy question. It wasn't even a hard question, an easy question to be posed to his friend, obviously his friend or someone who he has subjugated himself to, right? And then the gentleman who is supposed to be an MP was more intent on trying to insult you than to respond to the question. And I commend you for the restraint by which you demonstrated and the decorum by which you handled yourself.
Yes, because I far better somebody than me. Because listen to me now. I agree, sir. Well, for me personally, I find it dear, one gentleman for company platform can tell one lie for me. Me say me now go back on the platform because I realize what it is about. Right? I decided then and there that I will not be returning to his platform. And look, I have not done so since.
Yeah, man.
Right? But there are people, and Vega said what is Vega said so my time we are socialized people and we like to socialize. And when they gather in there, we're gonna like it. Right? But I for one, I have not visited this platform. You know, I gave the analogy earlier, Joshua. At a young age, I attended basic school. When my knowledge grew beyond that, I went on to prep school. When my knowledge grew beyond that, I matriculated to high school, then to university. Now, when I attended university, I could not find myself going back to sit down in a basic school classroom because I have nothing to learn there anymore. For that very reason, I could not go and sit on that platform. I have nothing to learn over there. There's nobody over there making any profound argument, making any profound assessment of anything. There is absolutely nothing there for me to learn. For that reason, no, you won't catch me over there.
I've been there once, and I've been on the For You page about 3 times. And I plan to go back there to try and see if some level of reasonability and sensibility could be imparted. He treated me for the most part respectfully the first time. And then I said for the most part. However...
Just 1 second, 1 second. Life FF, you don't learn from the baby. You learn about the baby. There's a difference. You don't learn from a baby, you learn about a baby. Let that difference soak in for you if you never think about it until today. Continue, Joshua.
All right. So, But even though he treated me with, for the most part, respect, I realized that in terms of the amount of time that was granted, it was unbalanced. Because our far cousin, Lotto Pinch, with the newspaper in my back pocket, was being given an exorbitantly long time to speak. And when it was my turn to speak, he allowed Lotto to keep on interrupting. And when I tried to speak, he would not, as the host, try to shield it. However, when it was the reverse, which I try not to interrupt Lotto, even though it doesn't make sense, and he's dishonest in his rhetoric, right? It wasn't the same, and at the end of it, well, first and foremost, Lotto was there at least 3 hours before I got on the platform.
Yeah,
Right?
he's now a permanent resident.
Right. And then by the time I gave my little discourse, which was less than 15 minutes, he said thanks and let me down. Right? And then afterwards, Munchi was there with him. Munchi didn't have the same freedom like Lotto. But when it was done, he asked persons, oh, who thought that Lotto, on a score of 1 to 10, how much would you give him? And I was watching the scores. A lot of persons were not very impressed by Lotto. But this gentleman was saying, oh, Lotto, you got a lot of tens, man. You get a lot of tens.
Lotto with who? I'm sorry, I just came in and heard it. Lotto and Munchie or Lotto and you? Ooh.
It doesn't matter whether Lotto or Munchi. Lotto, there's no way Lotto can be in any debate with Munchi and win.
With Munchie or you? I'm confused. Who was
No, it's Munchi that the tens were supposed to be against, not me.
So it must be Lotto and woman with the belly on the ground they're talking about. It can't
No.
be no
It can't be
labor
Lotto or
right.
Munchi. Which conversation Lotto could ever engage Munchi
With
in a
any labor right. Are you crazy? Get out of here.
Well, that's what I heard him saying. Oh, because one of the questions that he asked the night is if we thought that the ODPEN and the recovery effort should be given to private persons. No, that don't make sense, my friend. That doesn't make sense because one, remember, private entity is for profit, and we must never lose sight of that. Right? We are at a stage now where we need every dollar that we can get, and nobody had the state of mind to pull back and say, hey, and I'm talking on the PNP side, to say, hey, this cannot make sense. Not one person.
Yes, this is the guy. Joshua, this is the same man when he said evacuate people to Barbados. Nobody never said that. No makes sense.
Right.
And again, I will say that's why they love the don'ts, because the don'ts will not challenge them.
How can you be suggesting evacuating the entire country? First of all, Barbados is many times smaller than Jamaica, right? Population-wise, landmass wise, right?
Joshua, I give the example that in 2011, Hillary Clinton was on her Caribbean tour. When Hillary Clinton was on her Caribbean tour, the plane couldn't land at Barbados. Yes, the plane, which was Air Force 3 or Air Force 2, couldn't land at Barbados. So, what would you evacuate Jamaica and go put a Barbados? So that makes sense. And nobody, as you said, Joshua, nobody will sit down there, could not say, hold up, Bridget, that, so that don't make sense. No, everybody has smile and nod. Yes, boss, yes, boss. And that is why I said earlier, live. So me can't learn nothing over there, so. You disagree with me, but me can't, what can I learn over there, so? When you're having a conversation, you learn, and I agree, I'm all for one. I'm for opposing views. I will sit down and I will discuss politics. And Vegas is right. I would sit down and I could have me can have a discussion with Ingram, you know. Me can have a discussion with Ingram. Me not gonna learn nothing. But I love discussion where I put mine, you put yours, and we discuss and we do it till daylight. That's what me love my politics. When me sit down per corner and I see you and me surrounded by 21 PMP and me are the only labor right and we fight politics from now until sun up. That's how me like it.
So let me ask you, because perhaps I'm doing something wrong. Why is it that people like Excellence and Ingram, whenever we're supposed to have a discussion, them don't want me to talk, but them allow you to talk? Why? Because as soon as
No, because Joshua, me loud.
No,
You,
me can't
when
bother
you
with
in a discussion with them, Joshua, you give them the nice guy persona. I don't. I am bullish in my discussion.
No, I can't, Chuck. It's just that me, like
Joshua
I don't
is so
function in
soft
chaos.
spoken.
Yes,
I don't
Joshua,
function
I
in
am
chaos.
Joshua is soft spoken, so they try to bully Joshua when he goes on any live.
Me not afraid to shut them up, Joshua. Shut up. Shut your mouth, let me talk. Me not afraid. Me bullish with
Joshua
them.
is not
Me
going
not
to do
pretend to
that.
be nice.
Even last night I saw they were trying, but you want to run you off of the live, and Joshua was saying it's not your live, and he's so soft spoken, although everybody have different character, but he's not a bullish like how they behave. And CB was telling him, cussing him out, and I said, oh my God, Joshua, you're so soft spoken. So they take this advantage of it.
No, but let me tell you something. I can be, queen, but guess what? I don't like the chaos thing. For me, once you start, I'm going to stop and make you alone continue, because it's only mad people talk to themselves. So I'm going to pull back and allow you to talk to yourself like you're mad. Right?
James.
I like to reason. Try and deal with the quarrel thing.
So Chuck,
Yeah.
if I may, just so the people them understand what I say, them two man, yeah, I too don't this man with PMP offer to anybody, right? Just listen this conversation with Alvaro and Jalix. Yeah, Jalix. Just listen to this, right? So Jalix is talking about the 500,000 grant from the NHT, right? And this award-winning journalist, yeah, just listen to this conversation.
So, Joyce, when you get, I use 30 seconds and around 2 minutes now, me can't get the clarity to the question. I am done now. So, go ahead. So, you provide to Mr. Noel that and the public 400 with that. We can get money over NHT and it will be available 500,000. I mean, just tell Mr. Noel, pull up NHT and go, disaster relief grant and what is there. Me read it for you, Jalix. And you must stop it, Jalix, because NHT own website stated key details available to current NHT contributor. That is tab number 1. Tab number 2, maximum grant 500,000 per collateral. What is collateral, Jalix? Per NHT contributor. Or if you want call us, what is collateral?
Property, the house will be the collateral.
So if you don't have no house, if your house damaged,
I just said it.
But Janice, what I'm saying to you,
I just said
well I know, come here and go show it. Well I know, me and I go show. Can nobody? Well I know. Jalix, let me respond now. Come here and I go show, because people need to understand. We not gonna do that. So if your house damaged, me have my house on the rooftop gone. And if you get 500,000 for collateral damage, you have to do assessment of house. This is where house value. This is if 500,000 you are going to give me or Noel or anybody else. If you are going to be able to pay it back, what level of asset you have?
Pay back anything it's a grant.
Jalix, that's not true.
It's a grant. It's a grant. Grant is free money. You're not going to pay it back. And as well, you can also borrow the grant. You can also get the grant on behalf of a close family member. So it's not only limited to mortgages. You can get.
All right. So question 2. Next question 2. Have you clicked on the NHT?
So that Alvaro where the PMP them have,
People are listening.
yeah, as the brightest,
As the God.
as a God. I said the grant, I figure pay back. Yeah?
So let me see let me read the same thing and then I read another clip there. It says disaster relief grants. The hurricane relief grant provide financial assistance to contributors who suffers property damage due to Hurricane Melissa. Key details available to current NHC contributors. Maximum grant amount 500,000 per collateral. So collateral damage is not collateral for the goddamn house, Vegas. Per collateral as in collateral damage. Jesus Christ.
Thank you, sir. Alvaro, that them have as the brightest one. That's when you hear George say the PMP surrogates them duns and the PMP can do better. At this matter, brother.
At this matter about. So Alvaro, read this right here, so. When it said the grant amount, because all of it says no say grant is a gift.
No matter the same man this, you know, when the Prime Minister said it, we now have, I think, 14,000 members, you know, in the JCF, you know. The man said it more than 14,000, so I like Prime Minister. He must have 14,000 plus, so he must say I like Prime Minister tell.
Right? So the same thing, it says the grant allocation will be assessed on a needs and level of impact.
Thank you, sir.
So for those of you who are screen recording,
Chuck Finley.
yes sir,
Chuck Finley.
yes
See,
sir.
you and Vegas, when I go pay me some royalties for use my word dunce, you know. Remember, if on Facebook, there's Joshua can tell you and you can admit that. So I'm one of the pioneer them in calling PMP dunce. From way before even Bruce Golden time. You understand me? And many Jamaicans, Chuck, tell them Chuck, many Jamaicans on Facebook used to curse me.
Yes.
I say, I disrespect Jamaican people.
Achoo.
Me out there early and people curse me. Even who own, you know. I saw me and Karen say I meet Anthony friend, you know. Because somebody sure me post, you know. Right? And now it is being branded up. Me want me royalties.
No,
you understand me?
No, listen to me now. The reason why the NHT use the term collateral here is that we all know that 500,000 can build back a house with damage. So this is to support, you know, collateral damage in your house. So my time, I just your furniture them damage. And you need the 500 to replace the furniture.
Could I replace some window?
Could I replace the window? Collateral damage. But
Chuck.
what I think,
roof a leak.
Smart.
Read like roof a leak and stuff like that. You understand me?
Read it and say the grant amount, the grant is 500,000 per.
All right. Well, but just the use of the word, you know. Just like if somebody say like a genie say, "Me I go grant you 3 wishes," then never tell us about sell your 3 wishes, you know.
No,
you know, have to pay back.
So let me show you now. The stupidity of Vegas is that the NHT have 2 portals right here. Right. Hurricane relief loan and hurricane relief grant. Jesus Christ, 2 of them did the Vegas. 2 different. Hold on. Let me show this to the people in there. Let me flip the camera and show them. I know I'm already busy line out there. 2 of them, they did it. Hold on, where you flip the camera from again? Flip the camera.
But the wickedest thing in the Chuck, the man is looking at it.
Flip camera. There it is. 2 different facility. Loan, grant. 2 different one, you know. It did it in a black and white.
So the man is looking at it. Looking at it.
Loan, NHC repeat loan.
All right. Yeah. So now that you explain it, listen the confidence that him have. Just listen this. Just listen this. Listen the confidence.
I used to 30 seconds and around 2 minutes. No, me can't get clarity to the question. I'm done. So go ahead. You provide to me well that it's 400 away that we can get money for any that it will be available 500,000.
500,000 DJ Potter, 500.
Disaster relief grant. I want it there. Me read it for you, Alex. You must pay Alex.
Vega, come back up, you break up, come back.
1 second, 1 second.
So they have a page where it says disaster relief initiative. So it have the loan, the grant, and the moratorium.
No. At the part in the truck when the man tell Jalix say, you have to stop it.
Yes, you can stop it.
That's why people that cannot do.
Yeah, Joshua.
Sorry, on a serious note, moratorium, I think it's important. You see, sometimes because we're so accustomed to a word, to us it seems like nothing. But we also have to remember that the regular man who is not accustomed to that word, it that man to be and him still there Kingston.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to explain to him what a moratorium is.
The moratorium is simple. If you used to pay a mortgage, let me do it in a Buster language. If you used to pay a mortgage, they might give you a 6 months break where you don't have to pay no mortgage.
Then put at the back of the mortgage, man.
Yeah. Right. Even simpler. They might put the next 6 months on at the back.
Yeah. That couldn't be in a COVID.
Yeah.
I have to remember some mortgage.
So when we want to hear, me not play all light again, you know. Me just want to hear the confidence.
The confidence tonight.
Where I present this nonsense with. So I'll belly a ground up on the platform and defend him, you know. I don't know, say, I want done, so defend him, you know. Listen.
We can get money for NHT and it will be available 500,000. I mean, just tell Mr. Noel, pull up NHT and go, disaster relief grant. What is there? Me read it for you, Jalix. And you must stop it, Jalix, because NHT own website stated key details available to current NHT contributor. That is tab number 1. Tab number 2, maximum grant 500,000 per collateral. What is collateral, Jalix?
Jesus Christ. But you should have so he was literally Vegas.
NHT contributor.
Vegas, Angelic's fault. He was asking for some explanation and Angelix never explained to him what is collateral. As well in this case.
He never did give me a chance to answer.
No, that's the problem. That's the problem, you know. He was telling Jalix what it is. It's not like it's a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
Him not ask him like, oh, what it is I would like to know. Him not tell him say, yeah, Jalix, if it, you know, man say you have to stop it.
Stop it.
People there. So listen this now and
If you want Carlos, what is collateral?
Property, the house will be the collateral.
So if you don't have no house, if your house damaged,
I just said it.
But Johnny, but I'm telling to you, you must. Jalix, let me respond now. I mean, I will show even if you understand. Me not go do that. If your house damaged, me have my house on the rooftop garden. If you get damage, you have to do assessment house, it way house value, it every 500,000 you go give me or Noel or anybody else. If one if you have even to pay it. What level
Jesus Christ.
And as Mr. Vega, this man is the man who they consider to be them God.
You want me to give you something? You want me to give you something greater than that?
Run it.
The award-winning journalist ready to.
No. All right. So what I've come to realize is that the award-winning journalist should have been awarded for backwardness. Right? And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I have listened to his reasoning and the kind of positioning that he takes and the kind of question.
Those words are trigger words, Joshua. If you stop it, Joshua, because you know the man disposition. That's why you're using backwardness and position. Stop it, Joshua.
All right. So me establish say Alvaro done because if Chuck, it not get done so than that with Alvaro, right? All right. So we establish say Alvaro done. Now listen this now. Listen, Excellence now, and our Uncle Sambo. Listen now.
Buying and selling out the first priority. I don't understand. Tell me why. Well, I forgot to ask if you want to stimulate economic growth. Okay. I have a question to ask because I don't know who watched the PAAC and who watched the Prime Minister's conference. I watch it on the same day. Yes, I watch it. I don't know if anybody saw some of the glaring differences between what was said at the PAC and the finance secretary versus what was said by the prime minister. I know that. Showed up how weak the government distribution. Yes, I know that.
Biggie, other part the sweet D though. The man said, no, me never did that listen, you know. Me never did that, so me never hear. But when the man asked you hear how weak he showed the government, yes, me did hear that.
No, he say never note any difference. No, him say never note any difference, any dichotomy in the different presentation them. But all of a sudden him know the difference when the man find out about sharing up a distribution a clear package.
You know, this prime minister come out and I tell you, when I hear from the PAAC, when I hear the finance secretary spoke, and what I heard the prime minister say in the press conference, and these were just a few hours apart, it begs for one to understand if the prime minister is interested in just naturally misleading, he's poorly informed, or he's having some level of amnesia when he goes out to speak. Because when he was speaking about the funds that Jamaica had available, I clearly hear him state that Jamaica have $1.15 trillion available for the immediate recovery process of Jamaica. That is Jamaican or US? That was Jamaican dollar. Right. When I heard the cabinet secretary speak, or financial secretary speak, she spoke of 622 million. She said,
Erman, no,
622 million Jamaican. That's all right. Yeah, man. The total that the prime minister, because we have made all the conversions from US to Jamaican dollars now. And she only get 600. She said what we have at our disposal at that moment was 622 million.
You see, let me lend my knowledge to what he said. No
move it. And I'm glad you stopped me because watch this now. The difference with we and them, you know. Me realize it's a clear mistake he made, but them that chap this and go put it out. Yeah? But he made a mistake. So I could finish listening to him, I say.
Not in. It can't be Jamaican. No, sorry, billion. I should say billion. A billion, okay. 622 billion. Sorry. Jamaican dollar. Yes, that sounds correct. No.
Listen this now.
Let me say this to you. The day before the prime minister gave his press conference, and the day before the PAAC, the IMF came out and said Jamaica had not approached them yet. That's correct. I heard that. Aid. I heard that. I wanted to know how comes the prime minister was calculating a figure for the IMF. 500 million. For the IMF, and they have not made agreement or even spoke to the IMF about the money.
No, these are the scholars from the PMP that them regard as intelligent.
Bright, yes, them
Yes.
bright.
So, he must say, Andrew Holness not talk to the IMF yet, so how him for know say him have 500 million available? Because him not
Because the IMF told us that the money is here. All you have to do is come get it.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So even the Prime Minister say the Prime Minister say it. The Prime Minister said we have 600 and add from our various insurance scheme, plus the 500 what the IMF say.
No, him said the IMF, them not go to the IMF yet. I got talk about the money.
But what them fail to understand, you know, is that in this case, I know we have begged the IMF the money, you know. Is the IMF I say money there if we don't want to come feed. And yes, we need it. we want to know.
What Andrew was saying is, yeah, we know so the money they did for we take, you know. But you know, we not panic and run go take the bag alone.
Yes.
We are try see what can go on. I try Andrew delay the process to try go around the thing.
You see all that trip to Africa you know is to see if we can get some grant from some of them people.
Right now, Andrew I got Africa now, got try say me can hustle up this thing, you know. If you say yo, you know, so me no bother want to do the draw down there. So
Yes.
hear me know him and them level of reasoning and comprehension is gutted, brethren. Yeah, man, understand say them money. Andrew not go make no deal with them. Say him a try get a loan. The money is there if him need it.
If you need it.
All right. So let us look at some keywords. If I say to you, Chuck, may I leave, you know, and just in case you need my vehicle for borrow, it is available to you. Right? You never responded to me. You never go over my yard, go trouble the vehicle. But it's available. Does that mean that it ceased to be available because you never go over the yard?
No, it is available if I need it.
Right. If you need it. Right? It not have to die your yard. It is just that it's available to you.
But Joshua, let me use that analogy now to show you the thinking of the PMP and the difference of the labor right. Me have a vehicle on my own. You go where you say, Chuck, you can go and drive my vehicle if anything. But me have my own vehicle. So unless something with my vehicle, me not got trouble for you. The PMP notion is that your vehicle available, me a go for it all when me no need it.
How me no need it?
Yes, that's why
And then
Andrew
guess
said,
what?
thank God.
Well, I know. Chuck, but me right on the
Before, don't get Joshua, but let us give the people them, because you ask them together, Joshua.
Yeah.
So just the people them want to understand when we are saying them money, we present themselves as, you say, if it was Sea Breeze I make that talk there, me daddy just say, Sea Breeze now well read, so him not understand, him not know where I go on. These people are presenting themselves as scholars, and I even call we dons. But what this PMP operative slash scholar fail to even do any form of research where I'm fingertip is to just look up the information.
Thank you. Just look.
Here is the information. Jamaica has access to approximately 500 million from the IMF's rapid financing instrument to aid in post-hurricane reconstruction. It's the rapid financing instrument. And this man who presents himself to be the scholar of the PMP is on a platform saying Andrew Holness not talk to the IMF yet. So
and just to note, Digi, that was available since Hurricane Berry last year, but we never take it, we never need it.
Sir, I have the information from the IMF itself, what you just said. Chuck, you can't go so fast.
I mean, by the me not read, but me know that.
All right, so let me just tack on a little piece on it.
But there was a lot of context clues around that what they could use.
Hold on there, Queenie. There, for the benefit of those who are not as learned, it's not that you're done, you're just not as learned. There's a difference between having access or available to receiving. There's a difference, or using or utilizing, right? Having access means the thing is available. If I choose to, I can use it. Now, when you use the word received, it therefore means that it has moved from just accessibility now to being in my hand, in my possession. Utilizing, right? And even when I receive, it don't mean that I utilize it yet, right? And so don't be caught in semantics by some of these PNP, because some of them, sometimes it's deliberate semantics to mislead. Give me a smaller meaning for the word semantics now, Vegas.
May have one, but to start with that if you might not like it.
You think shenanigans can use like
Chuck me no want that one there. You have to keep that one there half of the year. And it end with why. And it end with why. We don't want that one there from you.
Exactly, that's the same one there.
Right. We don't want that one there from you.
Joshua.
Yes, sir.
Josh, you know
sir.
what is troubling?
What?
And I think for far too long in our society, we use certain phrases. Andrew get money, right? Andrew get this, Andrew. And you said that it can give a personification and a personalization to government spending.
Right.
And that's why I tried my very best to say the government.
The government. Thank you,
right? Because a lot of people think say Andrew is receiving these monies and he is the one literally spending them, right? Somebody sent in a my WhatsApp group a while ago, Simon Crossgill and somebody else, when I know for Shaka Fame, attack about how silent the Minister of Finance is, right? And them asked in the group, what you think about what Simon Crossgill said? And Simon has said, oh, at the first disaster, them say we're the Minister of Finance in any country. So silent. I say, listen, the ministry name, literally name, Ministry of Finance and Planning. Who them think allocate all these monies to all these ventures where are going?
Yeah, but they don't understand.
You understand me?
Is that the Minister of Finance alone to spend money.
But exactly.
But this is not, but my brothers, this is not unusual, but let me put something before it. This is, in my view, deliberately, it's intentional. And it's intended to stoke the flames of distrust and also anger. And let me tell you why I say that. This is not new. When we had Katrina in the US and typhoons over the world and other disasters, you don't hear much from the Minister of Finance. The person who's in charge of the money is not usually the one speaking because there's no need. It's like asking the treasurer to be the PR person, right? When we had COVID, did you hear from the Minister of Finance much, if ever at all? No, we never did, right? Because there's no need. Their job is to sit behind the scenes, or in the case of Favol, which she did earlier this week, sometimes to walk on the scene and to see what is happening. Because when the people from CARICOM visited, she was out there with them, walking, looking at what was happening. And she, in addition to hearing, she's also able to have a better understanding as to the scope of the disaster. And then in her planning, right, and based on the reports that is received from the different agencies, and also based on what she has also received from the head of government, because we have to decipher and the difference between the governance structure, government, and the leader of government. And sometimes we don't do a good job of breaking that down. The leader of the government is the prime minister. The ruling party make up the government. The governance structure include even the opposition members that have been elected, right? And we must be very clear about these things. But they're intentional in misleading persons to let it appear as if, boy, the prime minister is the one who is getting the money. And so when government is used, it's not the entire governance structure that they're looking at.
Just my goal is responsible for half of the people, and so